Now that the paper backups are ready, we're going to stamp our seeds and passphrase directly on stainless steel washers that will then be assembled on a screw to keep them in place. We'll do one metal backup for each seed and 3 metal backups for the passphrase. This is the part where we need to take the most precautions, as it is a lengthy manual process that requires the use of a hammer. I would recommend using gloves to protect your thumb, but I'll admit I didn't use gloves myself and I've hit my thumb multiple times. There is a good chance you'll need to do this outside your workroom. Always remember to make sure that no one can see what you're doing when you're working with your seeds and passphrase. Finally, before starting, a word of caution. If all the guardians and heirs are located in the same country in which you're creating the backups, you won't have any issue traveling with metal backups. But if some of your guardians or heirs are located outside the country, your metal backups will most definitely raise suspicions at the airport security check. In this case, you might want to first travel to their country with only the paper backups and only there create the metal backups. That way, you shouldn't be bothered by the airport security staff. Now that this is out of the way, let's get stamping. So this is my stamping station. What we're gonna do is that we'll use our temporary sheet to guide us to stamp all of these seed words on metal backups and as well for the passphrase. The difference is that we're gonna do one backup for each seed, and for the passphrase we're gonna do 3 copies of the same backup. So I'm gonna keep that off camera so that we can focus on the setup. I couldn't find a thick sheet of metal to stamp on, so I'm gonna try with this tool and we'll see if it works. Otherwise, I'll do it on the bare wood. The thing is, with wood, it can bounce back when you stamp with the hammer, so it's always better to have a metal surface. This is the result. So it's not stamped yet, but this will be the result. We'll have 13 washers, 12 will be the words, and 1 will be the name of the backup. So we'll have seed 1, seed 2, seed 3, seed 4, seed 5, and then we'll have 3 passphrase, passphrase, passphrase. So what we'll do is that we'll stamp the words on the washers, and then we're gonna assemble them in this way. There you want to see seed 1 or seed X, and then we'll do word 12 with the word facing this washer, and then word 11, 10, 9, 8. That way, just by looking at the backup, you won't be able to read the words. So that's an added measure of security. So now, how does that work? This is a stamping jig that is 3D printed. You can print it yourself or just buy it online. This is what I did. I bought it. The idea is that up there you have 2 slots for the numbers. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1, 0 for 10, 1, 1 for 11, etc., etc. And then below you have the slots for the words. So if your word is 4 letters long, you'll do it with the 4 at the bottom, and if it's longer, you'll use these ones. So you'll adapt so that it reads nicely. Okay, so let's get to work. We'll start with seed one, and we'll start with, oh, I didn't show you that. These are the stamping letters. And as you can see, we have the numbers there, and the rest of it is letters. So this is the result. We have seed one. My washers are not exactly the same size as the jig, as you can see, so it kind of moves inside. This is why it's not perfectly aligned, but it's perfectly readable, so I guess that works. And so now we're gonna continue with the 12 words of seed one. And the first one is mixed. Now, once we have the word stamped, we want to have the number as well. So this is the first one. So we'll go with the number 1 and stamp it at the top of the washer. And there we have the first word of the first seed. We have a lot to do. So let's get to work. After a lot of work, we have finally finished the stamping, and we now have our metal backups ready. So we have 3 passphrase backups that you can see here: pass, pass, and pass for passphrase. We have the seed backups. This is seed 2, seed 3, seed 4, seed 5, and seed 1. This is a very lengthy manual process. I hit my thumb quite a few times. It's terribly long, but it's also very worth it. So this is something that you'll have to do over probably a few days. At least I had to. I could not stamp, spend so much time doing only that. But if you do one a day, I guess after 8 days, you're done. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Stamping is incredibly time consuming and is not a fun process at all, at least for me. The process will probably take you several days to complete, unless you're a stamping beast. I'm not a stamping beast, so it took me approximately 5 days to stamp everything. If you feel like this is too much for you and are ready to invest in some quality material, I suggest you research Seed Hammer, which is an engraving machine that will load your seed but immediately forget it as soon as you finish the engraving process. It works with a seed signer as its controller. I've never used it myself, and I personally chose the hard but empowering way, stamping everything myself. You'll find a link to the Seed Hammer website in the description in case you would be interested. Even though the stamping process takes a lot of time and patience, it's well worth it, as having indestructible metal backups will ensure your Bitcoin Vault's longevity and security. Now that we have final backups, we don't need our temporary backup sheet anymore. We need to destroy it so that no one can find it. And what best way to destroy it than to burn it?